Thank you, Tánaiste. Inflation has risen sharply in recent years and nowhere more evident than in urban areas, particularly in Dublin. The median house price in the capital now stands well above the 400,000 Group A capital acquisitions tax threshold. Yet there's been no recent adjustments to this threshold to reflect this mismatch between asset value and tax policy. So this discrepancy often results in a difficult outcome where an individual inheriting the family home from a parent suddenly faces a significant tax liability. This often forces them to either remortgage the property or indeed to liquidate it in order to discharge that debt. My question to you is, has your department conducted any detailed modelling on the cost to the Exchequer of increasing the Group A threshold? Or has there been any serious consideration given to linking future thresholds dynamically to the official house price index for greater fairness?
Yeah, thanks very much, Deputy. So, I mean, I do, and I'm conscious of the area of the country you represent, and the area of the country that I represent, and I'm conscious that property prices, the reality of inflation and the likes, capital tax can place a real burden on people, and particularly when people maybe perhaps inherit a family home or the likes as well. So these are real issues that come across our desks and our lives as we interact with people that we represent, and we do keep these under review. We'll continue to keep them under review. We obviously have to keep them under review in the context of all of the other pressures on the various tax packages that we bring forward. In the final budget of the government, the last government in which both your party and mine were present, we did obviously make adjustments to the thresholds, and we did make those adjustments effective to gifts and inheritance taken on or after the 2nd of October 2024. We'll continue to keep this under review in forthcoming budgets. We do have each year, we do produce tax strategy papers, and we have a tax strategy group, and perhaps in light of some of the suggestions that you've made this evening in the Dáil, this is something that I will ask our tax strategy group to consider in advance of future budgets.
Many childless individuals in Ireland, whether by choice or otherwise, now make up nearly 1 in 5 adults. Yet they're effectively penalised under the current capital acquisitions tax regime. Without children to access the larger Group A threshold, they're relegated to the much lower Group B limit of 40,000, applicable for siblings, nieces and nephews, or even just the 20,000 under Group C for all other cases. This means that a third of the substantial value of an inheritance, often a family home, is paid out in tax liability. As you'll appreciate, this creates a profound unfairness for the 18% of childless individuals when it comes to inheritance. Will you commit to keeping those reliant on Group B and Group C thresholds under active consideration when devising any changes to inheritance tax policy in next year's budget?
I will indeed, Deputy Brennan, because I think, without preempting any future budgets, I think if you look at when we did this in the past, the last time we did this in Budget 2025, we did make decisions to move each of the bands. And I personally think that was an appropriate thing to do as well. So look, we do need to look at this in the round. There are always competing demands on what you can do in relation to a tax package each year, but we have only delivered one budget of 5. We have 4 more, and if we continue to keep the economy in good stead, continue to run budget surpluses, continue to be able to set money aside in future funds, I do believe in the medium-term fiscal framework that myself and Minister Chambers will bring to government soon, we will be able to see more kind of regular-sized and a rhythm of tax packages in the future, and all of these issues can be considered in the context of that. But some of the specific policy elements you've referenced there, I think it would be useful to have the tax strategy groups look at this in advance of future budgets, and I'll continue to link with